Being magnetic and in your feminine energy isn't just about wearing cute clothes, putting on makeup, and doing your hair. It's about a way of being and a way of carrying yourself. This is a number one key in order to activate your feminine energy, even if you're in a busy corporate job in Workday. Here's how we do it. Gorgeous. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for tuning in to Align Your Day. This is Jonathanopoulos, your certified life coach, your supporter on being your best self. And I specifically help corporate women really reduce their stress and feel like the empowered queens in their lives, in their workday, and in their relationships. So let's get into today's topic, okay? Like I said at the intro of this video, right? We're going to talk about feminine energy, how to activate it more. Everybody and their mother's talking about it. I made a video previously on it. If you want to listen via the podcast or on YouTube, I'll pop it right here. But today we're going to be talking about a very important key to activate your feminine energy, even in a busy workday. And this key is going to kind of be the underlying base or foundation that I would invite you to approach when it comes to activating your feminine energy, to feeling like the magnetic queen of your life. I think this might be like a good perspective shift that allows you to really feel like the queen that you deserve to feel like, have more things flow to you, have more things attract to you, attract higher quality and caliber people, work projects, work engagements, communities, self-worth and self-respect, and more. So just to set the stage and foundation, like I was saying, right? Feminine energy is a way of being, it's a way of carrying yourself. And so it's understanding that feminine energy is not just looking a certain way, looking, even though I'm wearing kind of, you would say maybe a more feminine, aesthetically feminine shirt, right? Feminine energy is actually honoring who you are at your core and holding it as sacred, okay? Holding it as sacred, holding your boundaries, knowing your worth, advocating for yourself, having standards for yourself, having expectations for how others treat you, for what you expect in a workplace, for what you expect in friendships, for what you expect in communities, right? It's a way of being, it's a way of honoring who you are at your core and keeping that as sacred. And when you do that, that becomes magnetic, right? When people know who they are, when they step into that fully, when they expect others to, appreciate them, or when they expect others to, whether they want to or not, treat them with respect, right? That is a very powerful thing to have, right? If you think about any TV show that had characters that you probably really loved, they were really magnetic because they were being themselves fully. They were honoring themselves. They were just being them. I think the first person that comes to mind is Schmidt from New Girl, right? Like I talk about all my friends. I feel like we all agree, like he's one of our favorites. Maybe he's not one of yours, but I don't know, just like all of those characters in that show had their own personality. We think about Dwight from The Office, right? Like he was fully him. And when someone's fully them and just owning it, it's so magnetic, okay? And I think about somebody else who I used to work with in the past, actually, in an executive board. And sometimes, people viewed him as like, oh my gosh, like he's always this way. He's always like showing up in this capacity. And it was actually magnetic because we knew what he was about. We knew he was being, himself at the core. And that's, you have to respect someone for that because they have enough respect to constantly show up in their authentic self. And so that creates expectations around them. And that is really the essence of feminine energy, right? It's having that queen mentality. It's treating yourself like a queen, treating your needs like, needs as sacred, needs as royal caliber. It's treating your desires as sacred, it's treating your time, your energy as sacred. And when you start to really embody that way of being, embody behaviors, step into behaviors that exhibit that for yourself, it really starts to change everything, right? It starts to change everything in your workplace, in your relationships, and more. And a really big key in order to start to activate this and really step into this way of being, stop escaping yourself. This is the key. Stop escaping yourself. Okay. And I'm going to go into this more, but I know we all have different ways of kind of viewing the world and even different definitions or mind frames when it comes to how we define words. But for this phrase for myself, right? Stop escaping yourself. It's really stop letting patterns that are not authentically yours, behavior patterns, ways you show up in the world. Stop letting those patterns that are not actually you at the core run your show. Okay, it's getting out of automatic ways of being, out of automatic habits that are actually out of stress and out of old coping mechanisms, rather than out of living and stepping and speaking from your true current version of yourself, your current empowered version of yourself, right? Maybe you're still acting out of ways from childhood that kept you safe from in childhood. Maybe, that people pleaser, maybe that being addicted to achieving, maybe feeling like you had to mold or kind of like chameleon yourself in order to feel accepted in the group, right? It's not letting yourself be run by those behaviors, but rather allowing yourself to step into what actually feels authentic and true to you, right? That's going to allow you to really be magnetic, to honor yourself, to start to self-advocate for yourself, and feel like you're really growing your feminine energy, growing your magnetism. It's a lifelong process to unfold and unpack behaviors that are ingrained within us from childhood or from traumatic experiences that we've had growing up. But the second that you start to do so and you start to, make strides and shifts of like, what's actually an authentic behavior for me? What actually feels true to me, rather than just, something I'm going to do in order to feel accepted, in order to feel safe. That's when you start to see the most shifts. And so 2 tangible steps you can take in order to, quote unquote, stop escaping yourself, stop having past behavior patterns run the show, rather than being true and authentic to yourself now. One is having some sort of practice that is caring for and easing your nervous system, okay? Having little signals throughout your day to remind yourself that you're safe, to remind yourself that you're not in a threat, right? You're not in a threat, and you can handle what's coming your way with more ease. And little things that you can do for that, I actually have in my free 5-day guide to help ease people pleasing for corporate women. So you can go ahead and download that. But that's like a really, really big key basis, is start to understand, what does my body show me when I'm stressed, when I'm about to have past old patterns run my show, when I'm about to go into people pleasing mode and hope that this, new guy that I meet really likes me, and maybe I'm not being a true version of myself in that. That is not holding boundaries for yourself. That is not having standards of behavior that you're expecting from other people, right? That's going to keep you in old patterns and old loops that are not really going to give you the results or caliber of, let's say in this example, men that you really want, right? So it's starting to understand, what does my body start to show me when I'm stressed, before I'm going to start to go into that, more people-pleasing mentality. Or, in work, when I feel like, managers are putting stressful expectations on me, and maybe they're overloading my plate and I haven't said anything about it because I'm not used to self-advocating. What does my body start to show me there, and how can I step into really speaking up for my needs? And is there like prompts I need to write for myself, or conversations I need to have with people in order to set up, more empowering spaces for myself at work? Little things like that is to start to ask yourself of like, how can I be that, that person who cares for my own nervous system and be that self-advocate for myself? What are things you need to put in place in order to start to grow your self-advocacy? And there's so many resources nowadays. It's a matter of you being resourceful and asking yourself that question. How can I be a better self-advocate for myself and my nervous system? Okay, so it's kind of thinking like your mind and your body, right? And so that's really, really key. So starting to understand your body signals, and then starting to understand tangible things you may need to have in your corporate workday to ensure that you're advocating for yourself. Prompts that you need to have with your manager. Maybe always keeping a running list of what you're working on, and knowing that you have a certain capacity for yourself for when you start to get overloaded. Knowing that maybe you need to communicate, at 2 p.m. I need like this 20-minute reset, or else I will not be my full self at work. Or, I need to have this hour to do this at the end of the day, or else I will not feel recharged for tomorrow. Something like that, right? Where it's like, what you need in order to be honoring yourself and performing at your best. So little things like that to start to really build that self-advocacy are going to help you really be that best friend for yourself, and also will inadvertently, I don't even know what that word is, but will lead to you growing your feminine energy and being more magnetic, because you're honoring yourself, and you're having that standard of behavior that's like, my needs are important, my needs are sacred, and you're allowing yourself to receive better, more higher caliber standards of behavior from others and from your workplace, right? So that's really, really key. And secondly, a second thing besides just that self-advocacy and keeping your nervous system and your just day-to-day self in mind is ask yourself, where can you build in more self-recognition practices? If you resonate with this content that I've been sharing, you're probably one of those women who's just like, okay, on to the next thing, likes to achieve, likes to be productive, likes to get things done, but maybe you don't take the time to actually receive compliments. Let yourself be supported. Let yourself be celebrated, okay? And those are all key aspects of having a very grounded, magnetic feminine energy, is being in receivership, allowing yourself to receive support, not because you need it, not because you can't handle things yourself or you're not a boss-ass woman, but because you deserve it. You deserve to be supported. You deserve to have that second hand. You deserve to lean on someone because having connection, having community and support is important to you. And you want that for yourself because you know that at the end of the day, you don't want to burn yourself out. Even though you can do everything, do you want to? Do you want that stress on yourself? Do you want that, burnout on yourself? That's not caring. That's not going back to step one and caring for your nervous system and your own needs. So where can you lean into more self-recognition and receivership? That's really, really key. So is there built-in practices you can do in your workday to grow that self-recognition? Maybe it's like, okay, you have like a little practice of after you finish a hard work task, you do like hand on heart, hand on belly, you take a deep breath and you say, I am so proud of you. Thank you for doing that, right? And you really allow yourself to feel that gratitude for a few seconds. Maybe this is one that I love to do when I'm in the mirror, go to the bathroom between my workday. I'll always look in the mirror. I'll give myself a little wink, a little smile. I'll be like, you good? How we doing? It's just kind of like, it's like talk. I know it may seem silly, like talking to yourself or whatever, but it's like, it's showing that you're here for you, that you're listening to you. Because like I said, going back to my initial thing, it's so easy to always want to escape ourselves. Always like on our work breaks, let's go to our phones. Let's look at something else. Let's go to that next work task we have to do. And you're not even showing yourself you're here. You're not even showing yourself, yo, I'm listening. Your needs matter. How you doing, right? Asking yourself and being that person to, be there for yourself is really, really key. So like I said, it could be like that little quick mirror practice. I know that there's a book that's all about like giving yourself a high five in the mirror and the positive effects of that. So that could be something you implement in your workday. Little things, nothing huge, right? Because I'm not trying to, create all these shifts that are going to have you add more things to your to-do list, but little things that are going to be sustainable and manageable to grow that self-recognition, to grow that recognition within yourself, and that will allow you to feel more safe to receive from others, to receive more, to receive feeling more cherished by men, to receive feeling cherished by your friends, because holding a strong feminine energy also allows you to receive. It allows you to receive that support. It allows you to, to have support. And I think that, nowadays with being like the feminist movement and everything, like that's great. Like I 100% agree with equality, but I don't think that it's necessarily that we need to do everything and we do everything better and we can't get support from anyone else, right? I don't agree with that. And I think we need to consider like, where is it possible that we can be leaning into more support from men, from our friends, from our workplace, and allowing ourselves to receive it rather than always putting more burden, always escaping ourselves with more things to do, right? So that's really key. And another self-recognition practice you can have, if it doesn't feel like, I don't know, if you don't feel like you want to do like the mirror thing or whatnot, you could actually just do like a little visualization exercise. If it's like hard for you to give yourself gratitude and like really receive it, if that's still hard for you right now, what you can do is you can like sit and close your eyes. I do this with my clients. You can sit, close your eyes for like a couple seconds, like just get grounded, take a few breaths, and you can visualize someone or something that you really care about and you really have a lot of compassion for. Like for me, when I initially did this, I thought about my little cousin. So you can do it like people usually do with pets. They can do it with their kids, just whatever, just like something that you really have compassion for, and let yourself feel that compassion, like really feel it. How does it feel in your body? Does it warm up your heart? What are the signals it gives you? And sit in that feeling for a couple seconds. You're going to sit in it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to slowly start to shift it to yourself. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling this compassion. Okay, can I just for a couple seconds shift this compassion towards me, right? And you almost like bring it inwards and say, okay, if I'm feeling this for this other person, that means that the capacity of feeling compassion, feeling appreciation is within me. I can't feel it. I'm just not allowing myself to feel it for me. So what you can start to do is like, okay, feel it for someone else for a little bit, and then slowly start to build the muscle of shifting it towards yourself. I know that can seem weird. I work out with my clients, but that's just something you can start to practice. If it feels like not safe to like be complimented, to recognize yourself, to support yourself, to give praise to yourself, if that doesn't feel good, that's something that you can start to do. And like I said, that's going to start to grow your own self-worth, your own self-advocacy, recognizing yourself, and that's going to eventually lead to you feeling more magnetic, more like a queen, and growing your feminine energy, because you're really honoring yourself and what you need, and you're not escaping with behaviors, with patterns that are keeping you stuck in old ways that are not really authentic to you right now, that are not authentic to you, what you want to say, to how you want to be, to how you want to show up in your work and your relationships or otherwise. So yeah, that's really, really key. And I hope that this was helpful for you. It's just a small segment, but it gives you a good perspective shift, a little baseline, and maybe a few things you can start to do in your workday to really enhance that feminine energy. And it kind of speaks to the core feminine energy, not just the aesthetics, not just like making time to get your nails done, but what's actually going to start to create those ripples for you when it comes to your self-worth, your self-recognition, and attracting higher caliber people, experiences in your life that you deserve, because you deserve it. You are an incredible woman, and you deserve to feel cherished, to feel held, to feel supported, and to be there for yourself. I'm here for you. If you need support, go ahead and DM me, or go ahead and check the link in bio for a free 30-minute call if you want to have a discovery call. If you want further support and tangible certified coaching on this topic to help grow your confidence, help grow your feminine energy, and feel like the boss of your life while still being in a corporate job, then I'm happy to help. But without further ado, I'll talk to you soon. Hope this was helpful, and sending you love. Bye.